Hey guys, it's Chelsa Messenger with Picks and Parlays. College football is finally back and we've got some action to talk about tonight. Today only, we've got a promo code for 25% off the entire website on picksandparlays.net. If you use the code football, yes, just the word football, you get 25% off. Arkansas State, Memphis are squaring up in this one. Memphis is favored in this one, minus 19. This line started at 15.5, but Memphis has slowly morphed into a huge favorite in this one. The total is 74, which is very high. Scott Rickenbach, what are your thoughts on this one?
Well, you're exactly right. There's been a lot of action early on Memphis in this matchup and also on the over because that over has been driven up as well. And in games like this, where you've got a big number to work with, if I can't trust the dog, then I'll generally just start looking at the total. And in this case, I know it's a big number, but I'm looking at the high side of this total. I think the early line move is going to prove to be correct because Arkansas State last year did throw for over an average of 300 passing yards per game. And that was even though they lost their starting quarterback about 4 weeks into the season. Now, this season, they've got 9 starters back on offense. The Red Wolves will be able to score some points here. Also, both those quarterbacks are back. The guy that got hurt and then the guy that replaced him, they're both there. But here's the problem. They allowed almost 500 yards per game last year. Now they're facing the Tigers at Memphis. I already checked the weather report, and it looks like it's going to be perfect weather, so we don't have to worry about wind or rain or anything like that. So both teams should be able to function very well offensively in this one. And Memphis returns a quarterback that threw for over 4,000 yards. They've got a wide receiver that had over 1,250 receiving yards coming back for this year. Now they did. Here's one interesting note. They did just find out that their tailback, it was last week, I believe, that he has opted out for this season. So their number one running back coming back from last year. Now, a lot of times guys will see that and say, oh, no, they don't have their running back. So now I like the under. Well, I'm the opposite. Usually in a case like this, and especially when you're going against a team that can't defend the pass very well at all, and now you've lost your running back, well, what's going to happen? They're just going to throw the ball more. They're going to throw all night long, and I think Memphis is going to pile up a bunch of points. They probably do win this by around 3 touchdowns, which is pretty close to the line. I think the best value here is with the over in this matchup because, again, the Red Wolves can score points, but they're just not going to be able to stop the Tigers in this one. And Memphis won't hesitate to run up the score at home, in my opinion. They want to have a big season debut here, and they're going to make the most of it. So.
Well, and history's on your side when it comes to Memphis. They've averaged 38 points per game in their last 4 season openers. So they're hot to start when it comes to this season, which it might be a little bit tougher because they do have a first-year head coach. He did coach the bowl game, but continuity is always helpful when it comes to the opening games, especially this year. But I don't know. Arkansas's defense seems so porous that they give up so many points, 34 points per game, including 215 yards per game on the ground. So it's tough. I don't think I will be betting this one personally, but I'll definitely root for an over with you.
Well, then what you said was true about that Arkansas State giving up a lot of yardage on the ground too. And the thing is, another thing about running backs, I was mentioning about their starting tailback from last year deciding to opt out for this season, but they got plenty of guys that can run the ball. And one of the keys is if you have a strong offensive line and you're going against an overmatched foe, like which is the case here with Arkansas State just being outclassed in this game, Memphis will be able to move the ball on the ground. It's going to open up the aerial attack. Really, if Memphis punts more than 3 times in this game, I'd be really surprised. So we should see plenty of points in this one. Again, it's a big number. The odds makers are smart. They set a big total and they're smart about that, but I still think it's going to find its way over the total.
Especially in the AAC, a lot of those games went way over the total last season. If you watched SMU and some of the other teams in that conference, they scored a ton of points. So definitely 74 is
Yes.
a number worth looking at, even though you kind of get sticker shock. That's going to do it for Arkansas
Yes.
State and Memphis talk on Picks and Parlays. As always, good stuff from Scott Rickenbach. Thanks for joining us.